The Resilience Across Borders podcast is intended for education, support, and inspiration. I am not a psychologist or a medical doctor and do not offer any professional, medical, or health advice. If you are dealing with or suffering from any psychological or medical conditions, please seek help from a qualified health professional. Hello and welcome back to Resilience Across Borders podcast. I'm your host, Rachid, and in today's episode, we'll talk about how to stop craving approval and live authentically. Craving approval can lead to unnecessary stress, hinder decision-making, and a diluted sense of self. When you let go of the need for approval, you free yourself to live more authentically and confidently. Here are actionable strategies to help you break free from this habit, along with examples as usual, to put each one into practice. Number one is need to understand the root of the approval seeking. Approval seeking often stems from a fear of rejection or a need for validation. By identifying why you crave approval, you can address the underlying issues. For instance, reflect on a situation where you sought someone's approval. Ask yourself, what was I afraid of if they disapproved? Understanding this can help you challenge and reframe your fears. You can practice this also by keeping a journal to document moments when you seek validation. Write about what you're feeling and why you're seeking approval. Over time, patterns will emerge that reveal deeper fears or insecurities. Number two, build self-awareness. When you know your values, you know your strengths, and you know your boundaries, you become less dependent on external validation. For instance, if you value honesty, remind yourself that staying true to this value matters more than someone else's approval. A practical use is to spend time reflecting on what's important to you and your values. Create a list of your core values and refer to it when you feel the urge to conform for approval. Number three is to practice self-validation. Replace external validation with internal validation by acknowledging and celebrating your own efforts and successes. So, for instance, instead of waiting for your boss or someone else to praise your work, acknowledge yourself. I did a great job on that project because I stayed focused and delivered results. Another practical use is at the end of each day, you can write down 3 things you accomplished, no matter how small. This reinforces your ability to validate yourself and to celebrate yourself and not wait for somebody else or be dependent on somebody else's approval or validation. Number 4, set healthy boundaries. Learning to say no and stand firm in your decisions builds confidence and reduces the need for others' approval. For instance, if a friend keeps pressuring you to join an activity you're not interested in, you can politely decline. Say, thank you for inviting me, but I will pass. Also, a practical use is to practice saying no to small requests first. Over time, it will feel more natural to assert yourself without any guilt. Number 5, shift your focus to your goals. Focusing on your goals and your strengths and using your own talents helps you redirect your energy from worrying about others' opinions to achieving what matters to you. It also gets you away from status games. It gets you away from trying to keep up with the Joneses or just doing things for the wrong reasons. For instance, if you're nervous about posting on social media because of if it's good for your business and you need to do it because of potential criticism, remind yourself that sharing your ideas is part of your goal to inspire others. Another practical use is to create your own vision and memorize it. You can create a vision board or other forms of visualizing, or list your short-term and long-term goals. Let these guide your decisions rather than seeking approval. Number 6, embrace imperfection. The desire for approval often comes from a fear of making mistakes. Accepting imperfection can help you let go of this fear. For instance, if you're giving a presentation and stumble over your words, remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes and it doesn't define your worth. Also, another practical use is try something new. like painting or dancing, or somewhere where mistakes are inevitable. This helps you practice embracing imperfections in a low stakes environment, and also learn not to take yourself too seriously or be too self critical. Number seven, surround yourself with supportive people. The company you keep can influence how much you seek approval. Supportive people will encourage you to be yourself. And also, people who do stuff and get out there and get the arena are usually supportive. And people who don't do shiitake are the ones usually sitting in the corner criticizing everybody. So spend more time with people and friends who appreciate you for who you are rather than how well you meet their expectations. You can also evaluate your relationships and gradually distance yourself from those who are overly critical and invest in connections that foster mutual respect and authenticity. Number eight, challenge negative thoughts. When you catch yourself worrying about what others think, challenge those thoughts with evidence and with reason. For instance, if you think they'll hate my idea, ask yourself, do I really know that for sure? Have they said that? Often these fears are unfounded. Same thing with I'm not good enough or whatever. These sneaky, unhelpful beliefs knock the legs from under them. Just imagine them as a table and cut those legs from underneath them so they have no foundation. You can also use the 5-5 rule. Ask yourself if this will matter in 5 minutes, will it matter in 5 months, or will it matter in 5 years? This perspective helps diminish the importance of fleeting judgments and reminds you not to sweat those things. So, letting go of approval seeking is a journey, not an overnight transformation. As with most things worth having, it's a process and it's a journey. By incorporating these strategies into your daily life, you'll gradually build confidence in your decisions and embrace your authentic self. And remember, your worth isn't tied to others' opinions. It's defined by how true you are to yourself. As always, thank you for tuning into the Resilience Across Borders podcast. And if you are enjoying it, please share that. Please provide reviews. You can pick up a copy of the companion journal called Emo Gym on Amazon. You can follow the blog at resilience.com. And remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to others and stay resilient.